What up, YouTube? It's your boys, Detroit Love, P-Dubs Arcade Loft, Michael B. the Game Genie, and Nostalgia with another episode of the Super Game Room Dudes Friday Night Just Got Live. What up, everybody? It's Friday night, and we had to get together. What's going on, fellas? How you doing this evening?
Hold on. Carl, if you're going to take the reins, you have to at least put us in the right spot. I can't be up here.
What?
It feels a little inappropriate. Thank you.
There you go. Yeah.
Am I Michael B or something?
Yes. This makes sense.
It's Glenn.
What's up, guys?
Woohoo! Who's Glenn supposed to play?
Hey,
I play the ass.
Okay.
Usually the ass. Yeah.
So wait,
I got
who's
fucked all day at my
Nostalgia then?
job, so you know.
That's a good one. I can also play the ass.
what's going on, gentlemen? How's it been? I hadn't seen quite a few of you guys for a while. How's everybody been going with this?
Doing good so far. I'm on the horse. I haven't had a drink yet. I got to get something. Are we live yet?
No, we're not live.
Started. You got
Plenty of
time.
All right, I got to get something because I'm like bone dry. I haven't had a drink and I need something, guys. So I'll be right back.
Alrighty.
What is going on with this? There we go.
There you go. Are you happy now? Are you okay? Are you set?
I'm good. I just have like a little OCD, small panic attack.
Just
about
eat your
the placement of the
banana
cameras.
and let's move on.
Oh, it's here. The banana's ready. It is.
How
not
are you doing,
banana
Carl?
time.
last time we saw you, you were
You cannot say the name because it's only known as the spot. Okay.
I don't know. I have no idea what the
Right.
spot is.
It's only the spot. So, before we get started, we have to recognize some of the people in the audience here. So, let me see if I can do my worst P-Dubs routine here. And here we go. Okay, that's not gonna work. Who we
You
got?
got
Who we
this.
We got
Carl.
Biggie D in here. We got Papa Brad's Gaming here. We have Carl O, Mad Astra Gaming, Retro Labret, Jason M, Multicade Matt, Jason. Oh, I think I said that. All right. Travis is in the house. The Dark Empire, CGM, El Capitan. All right, Scott, Travis, I think we got repeats. Nerd Lounge, Master 84, and so on and so on. If I missed you, it's because I didn't see you. All right.
P-Dub's in the chat. Read faster, he says.
Look, man, I don't even know if I'm supposed to be scrolling up or scrolling down. I don't know if I'm starting at the end or the beginning. I'm all over the map.
Half the dudes are AWOL.
Yeah, well, I see P-Dubs in the chat. P-Dubs, what's happening? Why aren't you on here?
Not only is he in the chat, but dude just logged on to his Xbox like 20 minutes ago.
Oh, really?
I got notified. I got notified on my phone. I got a buzz, and it was like P-Dubs Arcade Loft just logged into Xbox, and I was like, "That son of a gun." We got Mikey here though.
What's
happening, fellow gatekeepers? How's everything?
Yes. Just checking these padlocks, making sure this gate is nice and locked.
Nice and locked, firm.
Inside jokes are funny.
I think I'm gonna need a beer tonight. See what it looks like.
I'm gonna drink a whole bottle of Jack Daniels after this and puke all over
Not
myself.
Batman and Spider-Man tonight.
God bless Canada.
One to miss. What's happening?
We're talking about the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
What's that?
we don't have
Me?
a good host for the show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
P-Dubs is in
it's
it,
the
yeah.
super lame room dudes tonight. Sorry guys.
The ultra lame room dudes.
The replacements.
Do you ever see the movie The Replacements with Keanu Reeves? That was
Yes.
a good ass movie,
Great
man.
movie. And the great Gene Hackman.
Please tell me why.
Is it better than the
Oh no!
Oh,
Dueling bananas.
What is happening?
I don't.
I
know.
need more potassium.
Wait
You
a
can only
second.
you can only eat bananas down in the dungeon.
What? How are you gonna play me like this?
What?
How are you gonna play me like this?
I was at Costco earlier with my daughter, and I saw your identical twin. I swear to God.
No way.
No, that was just me.
I talked to him too, and I was like, "What movies have you seen?" And he said, "Just The Lion King and Aladdin."
But seriously, we talked about this. Three distinct conversations privately. I said no bananas for anybody on Super Game Room Dudes except Nostalgia Man.
Yeah, but this is Super Lame Room Dude, so it's
It's
okay.
a totally different show. Not even
Yeah.
not even remotely the same.
We just
It's
use
all
the same
bananas,
artwork, just
no
like
gaming.
Arcade1up.
You don't even eat the banana right.
BANAN.
What do you mean I don't eat the banana right? Is there
You're
a
not
correct
eating
way
it
to eat
fast
it?
enough.
You're
Eat
eating
the
it upside
peel.
down.
Eating upside down. Start in the middle, work your way out.
What up,
Like
B
this
Kong?
guy.
Now
The
it's
ultimate
really
mobile
the Super
setup.
Lame Room Dudes.
Is our goal to do a Super Game Room Dudes, but gatekeep P-dubs from being on the show? Is that
Absolutely.
okay? Got it.
Exactly.
I was wondered why I was summoned. It was like this is a practical joke or something. I get it though. I get it.
B Kong, you at Arby's drive-thru? Where you at? No mic yet?
He's working on it.
What
Did
is-
we not have Glenn here? What's going on?
he went to get a beer,
Oh, okay.
and I'm sure he's peeing as well. 'cause, you know.
I heard the Super Lame Room games that Lame Room dudes were on.
What?
Super Lame Room Dudes.
We are here. We're lame. What's going on?
Friday night just got lame.
I'm driving
Letters
to the
away.
Twin Peaks right now to do my best Carl impersonation. So give me a little bit of time. We can make this a little bit more exciting. Oh my God, there's bananas on stream.
Okay, B, can you do the Super Game Room Dudes intro for us?
That is the song or the
No.
intro.
You said you're going to do the Carl impression, right?
Oh, the Carl impression. What up, YouTube? It's your boy, the Michael B. the Game Genie, Detroit Love, Console Kits, Nostalgia, 19K Fox, and your boy, B Kong.
You see, Mike, I can swallow. I don't have to spit it out.
I've heard that.
was horrible.
That's
I
incredible.
was just practicing for the
Hey,
gas
Fox.
station bathroom. That's all.
Hey Fox, what are you drinking tonight?
What's going on? I am drinking Jefferson's. Just cracked a brand new bottle because I downed my Basil Hayden last night. It was a hell of a day.
All right, all right.
Mhm.
Now, Nostalgia, I heard you saw the Super Mario Brothers movie. How was that?
I thought it was excellent. Chris Pratt did a great job as Mario. Best Mario that has ever happened ever.
Even with the wrong voice?
No, it's even better than any video game, period.
Kidding me.
I don't know. Bob Hoskins left a lot to live up to. I'm sorry.
Yeah. He
That's
may
a
have
good
a thing
point.
to
I
say
don't know.
about that.
Yeah, it's not his fault that movie sucked, you know.
So who else saw
talking
it? I didn't see it.
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I haven't
did
seen
see
it
it.
yet.
You haven't seen it yet, Mike?
No, I planned on taking my daughter this week. However, just things didn't fall into place. It was just one of those weeks from hell where a bunch of stuff came up with my work, just craziness. We're in a new fiscal year now too, and we just took over some new projects. So of course, that involved me getting very much more involved than I should be to make sure those projects are working right.
Did you tell them like, dude, you know I just got Godzilla, right? I can't. I'm not gonna work for the next 2 weeks. Like
I told them, I say, guys, I can't help you with this work stuff. I'm a pinball channel now.
that's right. It's
Don't
like
they get
Pitbull,
it?
you know. Like you can't. Arcade1up can't release an old '80s title if Pitbull owns it, right? Like it doesn't work.
It's just a waste of time. If they release Crystal Castles, what's the point?
That's right. Like he already has one, so what's the point?
All right, so
Boy,
who's hosting
well-
this shit? Is this Carol's show? Carol, you're
I
in the
think it's
boss.
Mike
Man. What are we doing?
You're
Dun,
in
dun,
the
dun. Here's a
pilot
story of a bunch of YouTubers who were sitting here drinking some alcohol.
Dun, 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 dun.
It's a good thing he wasn't live when I was making the donkey butt comment earlier before. Dun, 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 dun.
Glenn, I want to ask you about this contraption you've got behind you. It looks to be a pub table of some sort with every arcade device ever created put into it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is a very small room that got the surviving equipment from the flood, which is, I'm still not finished on the basement. I haven't really started the basement. So everything's set up, but this little guy this guy right there, that's my 3D printed console. So one of the projects that'll be coming out one day as a product, it'll be a nice big pub table. It's gonna have a bunch of cool stuff in there. Beautiful 19-inch display. VR capabilities. It's going to be able to have foot warmers in there, a little spot to put your feet in, salt,
Ooh,
get
nice.
rid of the foot fungus. It's going to be pretty cool when it comes out.
Ooh.
You really will like it.
Absolutely.
Glory hole right in the middle. Make everyone happy.
So this is
Could
going
ask
to
for
be
anything
both
more.
P-Sticks and Thunder Sticks technologies.
That's
It's all
You're
of the
right.
above.
Now, Glenn, I got a
Stringer-
question.
Stringer
I don't-
Films has a super chat here, $2. Thank you. He says, unlike Mr. Workaholic Michael B, he saw Mario Brothers and he loved it.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated it.
What
Of
is
course you
wrong
would.
with you, Glenn?
I hated
Of
it.
course you would.
Come
Just,
on.
Hold on, Glenn. I have a question for you. So when you look at your own background, you see Tron spelled correctly, but for us, we see it mirrored. Is that a licensing thing? Like you have
Yes,
it all backwards?
I
so-
wanted to make sure I had no potential lawsuits coming
Got
down
it,
the
got it.
pipeline.
Just wanna make
Absolutely.
sure. Yeah, that'll get you.
So, guys, I want to tell you a secret about this show. It's not really a show so much as it's a hangout. That's the way I describe it, because I was talking
Ah.
to some other people today, talking to a friend of ours, Cool Toy, and I tried to get Cool Toy to come back and hang out with us as well. And I explained it. I said, it's not really a show. It's just a place where we go to hang out. So, unfortunately,
Right,
he had plans tonight, so he couldn't come. But I'm so happy that all you guys came.
Cool toy.
We're just
Sounds
happy to
like
be
a
invited.
gatekeeper.
What?
Is
What'd you
that
say,
correct?
Fox? I missed
90K Fox is mute. He's a mute. He's miming.
Hello?
Oh.
Hello?
Hello.
there's a big delay.
Hello?
Hello.
Really?
Is this thing on?
You must have a Comcast at the new place.
So, Fox, I see you released a video today on your new basement. Are you in your basement now, or is this still the living room of doom? Like, what's going on here?
Yes and yes. No, I'm in the
Okay.
basement. This is the demilitarized zone is just right behind me. This is the area where I'm not allowed to have arcades, so I've snuck these behind enemy lines, but the actual arcade is going to be on the other side of this wall.
Nice. And Carl, I see you didn't pay the power bill again.
Well, I had everything going, and Nostalgia said his eyeballs was hurting because it was too much light. So I did him a favor and I shut it off because I'm not.
Oh,
that guy.
nostalgia. You woke Nancy.
What can I do? What can I do? It is what it is. I'm indoctrinated. So, but that's it. That's all we're going to talk about for Mario. We've moved on.
Well,
No, I just got
I gotta
distracted,
tell you,
I'm sorry.
I gotta tell you, I watched it with my son. My son's a huge Mario fan. He even thought it was boring. So visually, it looked nice. The animation was well done. I thought there was a ton of little Easter eggs, which was good. But I thought the story, that again, it's a video game based on Mario. Not the story is supposed to be epic. But I thought that they potentially woke it up a little bit. I did not find Mario being a klutz the entire movie and Princess Peach being like Rey from Star Wars very enjoyable. I just didn't.
I don't know, man. I don't see that.
I don't see that at all.
Like I would
Nostalgia, I would expect nothing less for you, but you know,
It would make
console
sense.
kids, I expected a little more.
If Peach, okay, hear me out. Peaches has lived in Mushroom Kingdom her entire life.
Mhm.
Mario was able to get up to her level in a day.
Mm-hmm.
So there is no.
but was it a day? Wait, how do you know it was a day?
They had a montage scene,
But
and it,
that could have been multiple. It could have been years, just that
Sure.
same time of the
it
day.
wasn't 30 years though. It wasn't 20 years. It was
They're
a
animated.
brief
They don't
period of
age.
time.
They
No,
don't
I just
age.
don't understand it. Like, I don't consider myself a woke person, and I don't really like that term. But I don't see how Mario is filled with wokeness.
Well, I'll tell
It's
you
just
why. I'll
like-
tell you why. From my opinion, the whole point of the original Mario was Princess got abducted. Help, Mario! And Mario went to rescue her. She didn't need that at all. In fact, it was Luigi needed to rescue her. I'm like, really? I know Luigi's a little bit of a klutz, but it for me. Again, other people can enjoy it. It's a free world. Me personally, I like the story of the movie to kind of follow the game. Like the original Mortal Kombat movie was good. Other ones were not. The original Tomb Raider was pretty good, then not. The first Resident Evil was okay, then they went downhill. If you're going to base something on a property, there should be some consistency with those characters. I just personally felt that the characters were not within the character of the games we grew up with. That's me. Other people are fine with it. Again, the movie's not made for me anyway. I'm an old man.
Glenn,
It's
have you,
made for little kids, and for little kids, I'm sure they enjoyed it.
Glenn,
thought
have
they
you
followed
played
the story
Super
well.
Mario Odyssey?
No, my son had. That's his, and my son thought it was boring.
But
He's a huge
I
Mario
think
fan.
if you had played that, you might understand the storyline just a teensy bit better.
You know what?
Because
Just because you said that, I will take out the Switch out of the bag, and I will give it a try.
But,
Again,
but
I'm
is-
sure it's making money.
what
I mean, the movie's making money.
Yeah.
Do is build up that Nintendo Cinematic Universe because Peach was my main in Smash Brothers, and they're totally gonna be releasing multiple Nintendo properties to do that ultimate Smash Brothers movie. That would be amazing. So she kicks ass in that game, and it kind of made sense. Maybe they pulled from that version of the game in terms of what
Yeah.
she could do.
I always thought she did kick ass. Like Mario 2 was like that's who you would pick to just dominate the level. And isn't Mario from New York? He's not from Mushroom Kingdom, right? That is his origin.
Well, yeah, and
so they
since when
and then he
hates
went
mushrooms?
into the
They did like the Popeye. He doesn't like spinach. Mario hated mushrooms. Mushrooms? I mean, why mushrooms? I don't like mushrooms.
Yep.
Come on.
Wow. I don't think there was anything wrong with that because they never shared that with us. It was his origin story. This is him.
I suppose.
For the very first time, we got to experience him.
You know, once the reason of Kits comes out, I have no argument left. He's got that voice. You just listen, Glenn. This is the way it is, and you got to understand, Glenn. You're not following the game when you pick it this way.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm picking apart your argument because you're saying it doesn't follow the story, but I'm like, it does follow the story. And you're like, it doesn't match the video game, but I'm like, it does match the video game.
See, once
It
again, I have
matches
no argument.
many of the video games.
Fine. I love the movie. Was phenomenal. I'm
No,
gonna go watch it.
You
again.
can
No.
hate it all you
Hey,
want.
no, it's okay. It's a win is a win, brother. A win
Okay,
is a win.
fine.
So here's the thing, guys. I'm sorry everybody's getting mad now for spoilers, but I'm going to spoil the movie for you. So basically, what
everything.
happens is Bob Hoskins as Mario and his brother John Leguizamo, who plays Luigi, meet Daisy, who's played by I can't remember her name now, but she didn't do many movies after this, and she's a princess in peril, so she needs to go to the Mushroom Kingdom, which doesn't look anything like the Mushroom Kingdom, where Bowser is actually Dennis Hopper, and then you meet Big Bertha, who's a large black woman who has these boots with bullet bills in them, and then there's bob-ombs, and then they take Goombas, which are toad people, and they shrink their heads, but they have giant bodies. And in the end, Bowser gets in some kind of pot, and a bob-omb gets in there, and then he dies. And then all the gross fungi people, go back together. And then they allude to a sequel that never happens. So that's the whole Super Mario Brothers movie. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, well, that was a horrible movie for sure.
Well, I don't know about
what
that. Hold
the
on a
hell?
second. That movie was not so bad. If you think about it,
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
you're in a multiple universe.
Well, your
the other-
opinion's really taking a hit, Glenn. I'm sorry, buddy.
The movie grossed over $500 million so far. So regardless of what Glenn thinks about it, it's done extremely well.
Well, they obviously haven't listened to me because they listened to me, it would have made $5. So
Glenn,
Sounds
can I
about
tell you
right,
something
yeah.
else? Did you see the executive producer credits roll down? It's Kathleen Kennedy.
Oh, how dare you?
Come on. That's a universal.
And that's compared to
Horrible.
that's compared to
You guys ever see that
85 million.
movie Scanners where the guy's heads explodes?
And that's compared to 85 million that the Cocaine Bear got. So
that was a great movie. Cocaine Bear rocks.
No, it was.
Cocaine Bear rocks. True story.
Ray
True
Liotta,
story.
that was Ray Liotta's last film, and it's probably his very best.
And loving memory of Ray Liotta. Yeah.
all right, so
I
we
can't
have
think of a better way to go out.
A $2 super chat from Music Mike. Any thoughts on the Pinball FX in stream?
Anybody else play it? Steam Pinball FX?
I didn't play it on
haven't played it
Pinball
yet.
FX. I played it on Xbox, and I was massively disappointed.
I will tell you, it is super laggy on Steam too. Like
It's-
really, really hard to play.
It's really bad.
Yeah.
Is it just on Steam and on Xbox? Like PS5's okay?
No, the version on the Epic Game Store that I've been playing since the early access is fine. Like that works great, but I couldn't believe when I was playing it on Steam today. It was like hard to play.
Yeah,
Like the flippers are so laggy. Like it's a nightmare. Like I started making a video for tonight and I ran out of time, but like my gameplay is brutal just because the ball's coming down and I'm like, and flipper. And every time, even though I'm trying to go early, the ball is coming off the bottom of the flipper.
Yeah, it's brutal. Has anyone else tried it out on console or?
No, Mike, it's because you're a pinball channel now.
That's
You've
what I
been
was
playing too much
thinking.
mechanical pinball. Your
You're s-
virtual pinball flipper lag is now off.
Yeah, it's your snob is what it is.
It must be. That's the reason why.
I don't know, Mike. I got your back on this. It sucked.
It
was
sucks.
the
It's a
worst,
bad experience.
literally the worst virtual pinball experience I've ever had.
But if you play it on the Epic Game Store, it's actually really good. Like I love that version. The version on Steam so far is not good.
Mm-mm.
The new games are good. Like Twilight
Mhm.
Zone looks incredible. Love Twilight Zone.
But you see, even on consoles, it was laggy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't play it on PS5, but I played it on Xbox, and it was just
With
like
Xbox,
it's unplayable.
There's no, you're just using your controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just using an Xbox controller. I haven't even tried through the ALP yet.
It's terrible. It's really bad. You guys should it's a free download. You can play a couple tables.
Oh yeah,
But it's-
when you download it, you actually get a 1-day pinball pass, so you can play everything.
Oh, nice. So you can find out everything's laggy.
It really is.
It's not good.
Well,
It's not a
I
good
man.
experience.
I don't mean to break this up. I have to ask. Kongs, did you get kicked out of the house? Did you get booted for having too many games around? What happened?
You know, very, very soon I may be in possession of 2 pinball machines. And so, you know, it just.
You're stalking
I had to
someone's
make space
house.
somewhere. Exactly. So just trying to take a little bit of space and enjoy the nice roomy Tesla. There's like a glass roof there, you know? So yeah, it's a fancy car.
Wow,
He's
I've
got it
Tesla
figured out
and two
that
pinballs.
he could put the pinball machines right in his Tesla car.
Oh, did you get your Tesla after?
I did. I'm like, I could play arcade games on a Tesla. You know that Beach Buggy Racing plays amazing with the Tesla steering wheel. That's the next level controller you need to do, Glenn. Got to do a real life steering wheel that can play Beach Buggy gaming.
You
That's not
shouldn't
a bad
play that game
idea.
in your Tesla.
Wait, could you put an Atari flight yoke on a Tesla?
Oh
Well,
man,
We can't
drive a
use,
car
if you
with
want to
yoke?
use mine, you can't say Atari. You got to say the 1977 film based on a movie in outer space with a couple of with Space Wizard controller. That's what mine is now officially called. It's trademarked.
All right, that's a. Can you make that an acronym?
So
But here's the weird thing about Tesla, though. There is an actual app that says arcade, but the games on here, there's actually no real arcade games on here. So is arcade a term for just general games, or is
yeah,
it fake?
think about going back to Xbox Arcade. Xbox Arcade was the general colloquialism they used for their game store, online game store, even though it wasn't just arcade games.
And Stringer Film believes that B Kong is outside of Mike's house, waiting on some Zilla.
We all laughed at that so much. Like,
I
you're gonna get your
told my-
Godzilla before B.
I told my dealer, I was like hardcore. I was like, I have FOMO. I'm about to go to the Orange County pinball place and just do it. So
Just break
You
in
know?
and take it.
I went to a new place today to play pinball, by the way. I posted a short. And so that's what I do. If I go somewhere new, I'll pull up pinball map and just look for like places that are close by. The weirdest place I've ever played pinball, it was a ticketing agency, like an aftermarket ticketing agency called I Need a Miracle Tickets. And they have 5 pinball machines because the owner is a nut, has an LE Rush, has Foo Fighters Pro, Premium Deadpool. And next week, they're getting an Addams Family and a Godzilla. And I'm like, okay, this might be a new fun place to play pinball. You can buy sporting event tickets and play pinball. So I'm like, all right, there it is.
How far
So-
away is that place?
It's in Long Beach, so it's maybe like 20 miles away. So if I'm out and about, yeah, I've been finding. I love pinball map now. It's like my new favorite thing. If I go somewhere, I'm just gonna look up and see and filter for stuff.
My new favorite thing is every time Nostalgia puts a stupid comment into the private chat, I have to try to close it. So he just keeps doing it. Him and Fox. And I'm just irritated here, closing it over and over again.
Wait,
Oh, yeah,
how is
Pitbull-
it that
Pitbull
Pitbull knows
penis.
what we're talking about in the private chat?
All up penis, absolutely, dude.
So did I tell you guys my my new shameful thing I'm going to be doing in the very near future?
Which
no, but
shameful
please,
thing?
please do tell us.
So
Which horror movie are you gonna
And so I found out there's actually a Chicago Gaming Monster Bash remake pretty close to my house, but it's not in a location you can just go into and play. It's not in like a bar. It's not in like a, area. It's
Oh, I know
basically in
exactly
this
where
place
you're
called.
going with this.
It's basically in this place called School of Rock, which is basically a music studio where kids come to play like rock music instruments and stuff like that. And it's in the waiting room for the parents. So I've got to go up there now and start pretending my kid's in music school. So I can go
Just waiting for my kid to get out.
What's your kid's name? Jusic?
John Joe.
See, what I thought you were going to say is you're looking up on like Craigslist or Kijiji or on Facebook Marketplace, and you're finding people selling them. So you're messaging them, and you're like, "Hey, I'm interested in buying it. Can I come test it out? I want to check out the condition." So you're just
that's a
like
good
driving
idea,
around to
too.
random people's houses playing pinball, but never having any real intention to buy them.
That's a good idea too.
You should. It's the only way to do it.
And do video shorts on it.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going to now, Carl? You're the host.
Yeah.
Come on, Carl. You got to drive. You got to drive the chat. You got to drive the show. Drive the show.
Wait, did he just bail on us?
And driven away.
And exit stage left. I think that's all we had on the agenda. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you showing up.
So
Fantastic 15 minutes.
we
See
do
you
got
on the
to
way.
talk about iiRcade. iiRcade did have a new game to release today, and it's something.
Boy.
It's something.
I gotta hide my face.
Please say something.
Nostalgia, have you seen the announcement yet?
I haven't seen literally nothing for the
Oh,
past
it's
2
the
weeks. I've been
greatest
like
ever.
disconnected. I don't know what's going on.
There's been a game that's been developed in the background, and it's been a joke for a very, very long time that it was coming to iiRcade, and I never ever thought it would see the light of day. But we actually got it today. Did you put console
AAA?
kids full screen, Carl?
Is it a AAA game?
My God, hold on, I'll get it up here.
Well, that's
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm verklempt.
Oh yeah. Okay, this is the part where Michael B is gonna type. You got to type real loud so we can hear you, though, Mike. There you go.
Click, 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 click. Oh, where's the teaser trailer? All right, here it is.
Oh, he's using his mouse.
No,
I
there's
like
a
it when he
teaser
uses his
trailer?
keyboard.
Oh
Why
yeah.
don't, Mike, can you use the screen above you?
No, I don't have the screen above me anymore.
Oh,
What's
it off
there?
on the
Is it just
side?
blank?
Is it in your lap?
Yeah. I took the TV down. That's in the playroom now. With
I
my
like how he
kids, so
looks up like we could see where his eyes are.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got him to look.
Do you guys
up.
do you guys want the goddamn thing I'm bringing up or not? What's
Yes,
going
you
on?
evil bastard. Let's go.
Why is Fox all by himself over there?
Because I'm
Don't
special.
know.
I'll tell myself that.
Oh wait, now I'm by myself.
Now you're by your dad. Look at you. Look at you.
That's what you get for liking that movie.
How about that?
All right, so here we go.
There we go.
Hey, where's okay?
Tune in for a development journey.
Oh, you thought Bears this was good.
So, oh, no way. This is not real.
Strap yourself
This is
in.
very real.
No, I thought this was a joke.
No,
No,
buddy,
this
you
is
better
not a joke.
grab another
There
banana.
are no jokes.
Only
Everything's real. It's
And then my
always
video
real.
started buffering.
As long as it's compatible with the new control panel with the GRS spinners, it's all good.
Oh, Mike,
Oh,
you're
the hell
letting me
with
down,
this.
man. What is
There we
going
go.
on? It's Pong.
It's not just Pong.
It's not just Pong. This is a very special Pong.
Not just any Pong.
Go full screen again, bud.
It keeps buffering, man. You can't handle it.
Ow.
See?
This much
It's a
power.
game,
It's
man.
good. It's good.
Power.
See?
Dang.
Justin, you ruined it. You ruined it.
Sorry.
There
What's
it
this
goes.
thing spinning in this middle? What does that do? It's the buffering.
So the game apparently morphs as you play it live and stuff like that. We are getting Jong Pong on the iiRcade. Here's what I don't understand. I don't understand how they can get away with using the name specifically. Like Pong? Is it because Pong for Atari actually has the exclamation point after it that they can get away just calling it Pong?
Well,
Glenn,
it's,
you got-
it's,
you got me?
first of all, it's Zhang's Pong. So
Yeah.
that part's okay. If it was just called Pong in the same type font, this is first personal experience. I've kind of learned all this stuff. If it's in that same exact font, that'd be a problem. But the fact it's Zhang's Pong, it's not exactly the same.
Is the name Pong public domain now because it's been out for like 97 years?
You know, it may in
So
fact
anybody can use
may
it
in
now.
fact
It's
be.
just
It may in fact be. You know, I can't speak to that because I don't want to get in trouble with anyone. I seem to get in trouble with a lot of people, so I'm just going to just sit here. I have a house. I don't want to have it lost.
Random Google search says it's not. What is it? Created in 1972 and published by Atari. Under current rules, it would be public domain by 2067.
Oh, 67. I
mean,
was off by just a
I'm not going to be
couple
alive then.
decades there.
That's just Pong.
That's
It's just
Pong.
Pong.
The phrase, yeah.
I mean, otherwise, Megatron would be in trouble. Cybertron would be in trouble.
Mm.
Acetron from Thunderstick would be in trouble, but it's not.
That's my favorite Tron.
We got away with that one. Right.
So, what else
Onward.
happened?
Free game.
That's big news. That's big news.
That's it. Is there
Pong,
something
Free
else?
game, Jong Pong.
I was going to ask
So
how much
listen-
it cost because that was my first time seeing it. It's going to be a free game.
$64.95.
Free game.
It's just it's a bargain and a half, really.
Hey, it's
Well,
a
I
free
mean-
game then. Like, I'm not going to mind it. I think it's
No,
just like
not
a
at
fun
all.
little joke. And then it's like the Space Invaders Infinity, that kind of like Gene upgraded version of Pong that kind of evolved. So
Exactly.
Well, not
It's-
so much.
modern classic with different versions of stuff. You know, it's a little
That's-
fun thing.
Let's go with that.
No,
No, you just haven't got far enough in it, Fox. Once you get the level like
Oh,
3 and
I'm the
all of a sudden
problem.
white lights come out and John comes out
Just-
naked with
that's what my
glow
wife
sticks.
says.
That's what
I'm waiting for the actual John cameo to just be like in digitized form in the background. So that would be
Like-
the best thing.
yeah.
Now, will the
Jong
game
on
automatically
either side.
download for us that on the cabinet, or we have to go search?
Oh,
for
I
it?
think you have to go to the I think you have to go
let's-
to the store and download it like you would anything else.
And it forces you to save the experience so that way Glenn can own more money.
You think there's
every single time.
you think there's any plans for some dedicated Jong Pong artwork?
It's already in the works. Absolutely.
A cabinet, a dedicated Jong Pong
Yeah.
cabinet.
That's right. It's got to be.
Yes.
Black
I mean,
edition.
if you're
Okay.
gonna go big. You may as well go
So
big.
let me
broke.
let me answer my thoughts on Jong Pong
Okay.
as if it was a game coming out to Atgames while I was working there and my name's Steven Nostalgia.
Okay. Gotcha.
I think
Okay, I'm
Jong
with you.
Pong and what they're doing with it is really smart. Like I think it's a really smart move.
It's what the
That's it.
platform.
That's all you
needs.
got. It's not very convincing, Mike. I was way more
that's,
convincing.
That's what you used to say. I think what they're doing is very smart here
Smart.
every time.
So we got
Smart.
the iArcade video this week, right? About Jong Pong. Wasn't there another video that Jong came out with this week? I remember there was something interesting.
Oh, Stephen Haywood showed it last night. You mean the one him dancing in a hotel room singing karaoke?
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
It's a classic, isn't it?
That was pretty good.
Clickety clack.
I really wanted to
clickety
do
clack.
karaoke with
That's
John.
why that's why you don't let people walk into your area when you're drunk with a cell phone. To
Your
tape that,
area?
that's. Yeah. I learned that a long time ago, mostly at work, with secretaries. But same principle here.
Wow.
That.
That's right. Glenn does hate woke.
There we go.
Hey,
That's
I have
all
a
right.
quick- So good seeing. I'm gonna let you guys snap back into a 6-person team. See
Have
you
fun
guys
with
later.
the fan, B.
Love you,
Thanks,
B.
bye.
Oh, we say that because he gets really uncomfortable.
He does. Yeah.
He does.
Yes.
Very.
All right, so that's really all there was for iArcade. We're hoping.
Wait.
for-
What about those sended light guns, Mike?
no news?
Is that you can't use that for the Pong? No.
Not that I'm aware of.
Just gonna just maybe just move them up and down. Okay.
No,
Yeah,
but my
not that
yoke
I'm
will work
aware
for
of.
that though.
Maybe next time. Oh, the yoke. Okay.
Yeah, you got 2 yokes. That's why I'm gonna
There
sell
you
2
go.
yokes for that, up and down.
Well, the good thing for Jong Pong, for people with the original iArcade or the modern one, Glenn, with your control panel, well, that's going to work on the original iArcade as well, right?
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
That's the rumor.
But anyways, once you get those spinners, you're going to get the real Jong experience, Pong experience. So that is really cool.
No, you were right the first time.
Jong Pong.
Young.
You get to control Jong while he's drinking.
I'm a
and
little
doing
disappointed because
karaoke.
I've never seen Jong Pong before, and I always assumed it was just Pong, but there was just a picture of Jong's head going back and forth between the battles.
That would have been better. Yeah.
Missed
It may have
opportunity.
been better. Yeah.
It was-
Maybe it's an Easter egg. You have to unlock it.
Ooh.
All right, so let's move away from iArcade. Jong Pong this week, free game, doesn't hurt. Pong's fun, and if this is a more modern version of it, I'm excited to try it out, and it's not going to hurt the bank account. So
Michael,
no big
some
deal.
people say the best things in life are free.
That's
I
what
think
told all the
that
girls I dated. They didn't buy
Some
it.
people,
they wanted
yeah.
me to
That's
pay
crazy.
food.
That should be a song lyric or something.
I know it's so
Yes.
good.
I'm working on that.
All right, so let's move on. This is kind of a down week in the home arcade space. There's not really a lot going on. Atgames is having a new sale right now, but
Good sale.
it's a good sale.
I think it's a good sale. Any sale is better than not a sale. Would you rather pay full price? It's a sale.
No, I
It's a good
don't like
sale.
sales because I'm an entitled customer.
Yeah, he is.
Just buy pinball
The
anyway. I mean,
most entitled. He's the worst kind of customer.
Okay, I haven't had a chance to really go through the sales yet, but Atgames is currently having a sale. You can go check that out. It's the same stuff that's always on sale. Go check out your prices, see if there's anything to pick up. Of course, you're dealing with shipping when you're buying directly from Atgames, so keep that in mind.
Mike, can you give us one Office reference, please?
What?
Sales. You might say it's a sales a lot.
Sales. I watched the past couple days. I've watched Benihana's Christmas.
Oh gosh, yes.
I've watched
so wonderful.
I've watched Michael and Jan go to Jamaica. That hot. And what did I watch? I watched Phyllis's wedding. Oh, we've been watching The Office again. My daughter loves it, and it's what we throw on now. We're finished all our shows, so we just throw that on when me and my wife are sitting down to eat or something like that. So this is the Atgames e-store sale they have right now. Video input back glass for pinball is 6% off.
Wow. Steep.
So
That's
Switchboard
6%
for
more in
Legends
your
Pinball
pocket, buddy.
Micro, 7% off.
Better than
10% off on the Legends Arcade acrylic
Not
side
as good
panel.
as 8.
Legends side panel 40% off. Now we're getting somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm
Yes,
sorry. I don't mean to be critical here, but I'm going to be critical.
Hmm.
I appreciate the sale prices. It's just when you want to show like a percentage is when it's a big percentage off. Like if you look at any ad from like a discount store or like the Brick here in Canada, like if they're doing a sale where something's only like $5 off, they don't put a percentage next to it to say, hey guys, 2.3% off. But if something's 50% off, they might mention that it's 50% off. If you're doing a minuscule amount for a sale, just put the new price point there. Don't bring
That
up
is
the
still
discount.
2.7% in your pocket, Michael.
I don't disagree,
true.
but I'm just saying it's not a marketing technique that most people would use. Save up to 7%.
Ooh.
Or you could just say like $3 off or $5 off.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Sounds
fine.
better. Yeah.
And then if you have
2.7
something
cents
that's,
off.
then if you have something that's a door crasher 40% off, throw that up in your what is it, certificate or action
The
banner.
circular?
40
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's their big ticket item right up front, and then everything
Yeah.
else is down low.
The fact they do a one size fits all and they've got that 6% and 7% savings, I'm just like,
We would have
Come on.
killed it at JCPenney's for sure.
oh yeah, I've missed my calling. I should be working
Absolutely.
at some kind of discount store somewhere.
Editing the Sears catalog is that thick.
I never make it past the brown panty section.
Ah, I stay there. It's my happy space.
It's not brown because they're like soiled.
What?
Moving
Isn't that
on.
the only way?
I'm so lost now. Are you talking about the pages or the bras and panties? Like, are you
Yes.
saying Sears had incontinent models?
Well, I was talking just about the papers. If you're going to go to the panties, Michael, you're taking it to a level I was not going down.
That's what she said.
Boom! Thank you.
So Michael B, I turned on my Killer Instinct Pro and it had an update, but I have no idea what the update was for. I don't see anything on their website. Any idea what that was for?
Well, that's because Killer Instinct Pro is no longer the domain of Arcade1up. It's now a Code Mystics machine. It's the first Code Mystic Pro.
Wow.
So if you go to Twitter and type in Code Mystics, you'll get your details on the update. And the crazy thing about this, there was a show yesterday called Arcade1 Update, where they reach out to the community and tell people updates on what's going on with the firmwares of their cabinets and stuff.
Oh, great.
And they didn't tell us about what happened with Killer Instinct.
Instead, they told you about a new product announcement, which is supposed to be what that
One-up
show
date.
is supposed to be.
The date
Wait.
should-
But it was
that-
the update show, but they used that one up. No, I don't. I am lost already.
The up the one date show. Yes.
Yes, up the one date.
Oh wow, Fox, I think I'm your dad. I just
That's-
read in the chat. We look like father and son. Look like your dad. God, I gotta shave off this beard. That's it.
Yes.
Beard's gone.
Mom's got some splaining to do.
Good Seinfeld reference here from Dr. Freeman. Do you call it a bro or a man's ear?
All right, I'm gonna have
Sure.
some Jeffersons now.
Nah, we're talking. I'm
There
still
was
laughing
someone-
about the.
There was someone in the chat earlier who was like, "Why are you guys promoting alcohol so much?" And the answer is because it's so good.
It's delicious.
No, drink
This is rough and
responsibly.
tiny, but it looks like they added HDMI audio support, which is
Yep, that's huge because that was pretty critical. Like the fact that most people, like I'm not saying most people, but I know a lot of people bought this cabinet with the hopes of potentially streaming their fighting online. I know like people like OTG has this, and he wanted to play it on like Laundromat Wars, and it's pointless without the audio, and it was
Right.
a lot of dicking around to pull out the audio cable and try to set up a separate audio source to do it. So the fact that they could go back and then add audio support to the HDMI out, which I always thought was a hardware issue, not a software issue. The fact that they could do that was huge because I thought that was dead in the water. So kudos to them for doing it. I was going to do it last night. I ran out of time. I think tomorrow night, if I'm not interfering with Laundromat Wars, I might actually do another live stream of Killer Instinct, except this time HDMI into the cabinet. So we get better picture quality than me pointing the camera at the cabinet.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's huge for the game. So I'm excited about that. So also it now warns you if you have a strict net, which can interfere with the online play. I know we had some issues with that with the tournaments that were going on with that cabinet. First to a certain number of wins, auto kick out rule fix. This is really tiny. When you are kicked down to spectating after a fight, the notice will now appear as a toast instead of a full screen pop-up. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty tiny. I'm going to go. But the big news is that we now have audio on the HDMI.
out.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to testing it because I'm also hoping, which I don't think they did, because this is the same issue that the iArcade Gold is having, is the output doesn't come in at that 4:3 aspect ratio. It's stretched, same as the iArcade Gold. So I'm hoping that's fixable as well. I'm hoping both companies can eventually fix that. It's not a huge issue for streaming because you're going to stream through some source like OBS. So you can go into OBS and then reform the picture to get it to the correct size and shape you want. But for people that like having a spectate mode, like especially with your iArcade, like you want that spectate TV, display TV above. Anybody that's going to connect their iArcade to a display TV, the picture is going to be stretched all to hell. I think with the TV, you can set it to 4:3, force your TV to 4:3. But
Depending on the
I mean,
TV,
again,
yeah.
it's all this dicking around. You just
Yeah.
really shouldn't have to do.
Yeah, I found that whole thing odd. Where at first they said audio out is a hardware limitation.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't really make sense because those chipsets, for a very, very long time, even the Arcade1up chipsets technically support HDMI. The SoC itself has pinouts for HDMI, has pinouts for DVS, has pinouts for VGA. Like, that's all there. It's just, did you integrate the circuit and then all the necessary components to actually do it? And so if the SEC, if you go look at the specs for SoCs that have HDMI, inherently they do audio out. It's just the integration of the actual software platform to wire it up to be like, okay, the emulator has an audio out. We need to pipe that into this driver that's going to drive it out. And obviously they did patch it. They figured it out. And I believe, and I know Nostalgia knows this, right? When you there's like an actual file that most of these platforms have that designate what resolution the system is going to default to. You can also at runtime call this, API that says I now want to switch the resolution. But it takes code, it takes work to do that. And maybe
take
there's
that
some
much work though.
I don't know. Maybe it's just no one asked for it. They didn't do it, so it's money. It's like, oh, you want us to do that? It's gonna take a developer 2 weeks to like make sure it goes through QA and everything's working.
Arcade1up doesn't do QA.
I was going
Come
to.
on.
Wow,
No,
that
no,
was
no.
a
What are you
stretch.
talking about? Come on.
No. Arcade1up doesn't even do any of that. I'm
You know.
referring to Code Mystics. Code Mystics is going to be like, give us our money if you want that feature because it wasn't included. So you got to think of Code Mystics like a third-party contractor that delivered the requirements, and then there's a certain level of warranty. And Arcade1up could be like, you have a bug to fix. Be like, no, audio out's not a bug. You didn't ask for it, so we didn't build it. If you want it, $10,000. It's this many billable
Who's going down the
hours and-
option list at Arcade1up is like, audio on the HDMI, nah, we'll leave that out. I mean, that's a weird thing to leave out. I mean, it was
I think
just
it's
an
more like
omission,
they didn't
or-
request it. They weren't smart
Ah.
enough to request it.
But
because the
you would
PCB
think-
supports it, right? The traces are there, everything to support the audio is there.
Mhm.
They just didn't do it. You guys just
Assumptions.
didn't do it.
When you buy a car, you assume you're getting tires when you buy your car, but no.
See, that's
Gotta-
what
gotta get the
that's- yeah,
tires.
I've
That's
made the
actually-
same mistake myself.
Or they were like, is there any way we can get this contract lower? And they're like, yeah,
And they
we can
started-
remove a couple integration pieces.
Yeah,
Sure.
there we go.
You know
I
my
just- I
favorite
don't-
thing about this? It covers up Nostalgia's face.
That's fine. I'm the
Fox
overweight.
is there, though. Look at that. Wait, I'm the
Hey,
one who's
guys.
covered.
I
Yeah,
love
no,
life.
I never understood the lack of audio thing. It's just like it's such a stupid thing.
Thing to omit, right?
I think
Yeah, it's just
I
such
think
a
There's
stupid
no
thing.
way to justify this. Like HDMI has had video and audio since its conception. Why all of a sudden
no.
it would
It
exist?
could have been
without
something
it?
as simple as it just wasn't tested. They built a product. It did audio was supposed to go. Hey, everything's working. Most of the people are not doing
Oh.
again these type of things.
Glenn,
Saying
you're wrong.
OBS.
You're wrong. Arcade1up tests everything
thoroughly. Thoroughly.
They make sure that
Completely.
everything
How
is
dare you?
functional.
Thoroughly.
No, that
and
I
correct
am
before
you're
they
right.
release
They
it.
even test other people's stuff and integrate it. So
They do,
yes,
see?
I
They're
agree with you.
thorough.
They definitely do that. Yes.
Yeesh. Yeesh.
But
So,
I
No
just
punches here.
hold on before we move on with that sort of feature. Like I know you're saying it could have been an oversight and it was just missed. But can anybody tell me a use case where you would want to export only video out of HDMI and not
Only people
audio?
like us, except for the normal person playing the game, they
I
wouldn't.
can't-
It would just set up
Yeah.
and it works. So
So the
Set it up and
Dragon's
works
Lair
what? Like-
Replicade, does that have audio out?
Yes.
replicates most do. Some don't have HDMI out at all, but the ones that do, yes.
Anything that has HDMI has HDMI video
You
and
think-
audio.
Do you
No, that's
think it
not
was
true.
just a
This
time-
didn't. Nostalgist. That's wrong. They just fixed it. So that's not
No,
true.
I'm saying replicate.
Every other.
I will go back to the first episode of Arcade1 Update, and David McIntosh talked about the Pro Cam, and they talked about how it's a learning experience for them. And let's be honest, when Arcade1 Up does something for the first time, it's going to have
It's usually a
hiccups and
home run.
mistakes. No.
Like,
So
oh.
I'm not being super critical of them now. It's just I think this is a toy company mixing in waters that isn't necessarily their first knowledge level, right? So they're testing things out, and this is just something that just got missed. It'll never happen again. I know the feedback went back to them, but
Well, yeah, I think that's true. Where it's probably something dumb like John's like, make sure it has video out. We need video out. We need video out. We need video out. And then
No one said
like,
audio.
No one
yeah.
said audio.
Right.
But people got loud enough that if any other chipset's going to have HDMI, I'm sure they're going to request it.
there you go. On Replicade, you can go into the settings menu and choose if audio is going through HDMI or through the Replicade.
Mhm.
But does it do both at the same time is what I'm trying to figure out.
Not usually. Usually, like on even Raspberry Pis, you pick one or
Yeah,
the
you
other.
pick one output source.
But you can always set it to a splitter. Open up the machine, put a splitter in there,
Yep.
solder a couple wires on, so it's doable. But generally, it's one or the other.
So Glenn, I contacted you when I was looking at the Glennicade. It's not called that anymore. the Buildicade. I still like to call it the Glennicade, though. So the Buildicade.
It's so cute and adorable, like me.
I know. But I think that was my
Incredibly
issue with.
adorable.
I think that was my issue with the Buildicade as well. Is I
Yes.
didn't know that I had to set the audio up separate.
Yeah, and
still playing on the cabinet.
we're always making enhancements to it. I mean, Gary is my code mystics, so he's making constant updates, and there's some friggin' awesome stuff we're coming out with that, including something really cool, but I can't talk about it yet.
Is it a thunder stick attachment?
On.
We'll call it a force feedback. How's that? But again, even when we released ours, we thought we covered all the bases.
Yep.
We get feedback from people, but the important thing is, you know what, you listen. And Arcade1up, they listened. And you make the fixes. It's when companies just go like Kathleen Kennedy and they attack the fan base and tell them, no, this is good Star Wars films, or this is a good Mario movie. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a good Mario
You're
movie.
conflating two different things. 100%.
When you get to my age, it all becomes one
First,
thing.
you have accurate, detailed information of an event that took place, and then you're comparing it to one that has no relation
Are
to
you
it.
saying I'm going to be one of those things on Facebook where they put on fact checked, false information? They're going to block me out.
Right. Like the Kathleen Kennedy be like, verified. Here's the source material. And the Mario stuff will be like, we can't substantiate this. Like, it doesn't have any evidence behind it.
So, guys, Cornercade, who we all know, Corny, has been asking this question. Well, that's what I'm calling him from now on.
I've never heard that. That's so mean. Why are you so mean, Mike?
It's Cornie, not Corny.
Using a phrase in that term is gatekeeping.
Anyways, so Cornercade has been asking this question a couple times. Console Fanboy is asking it. He threatened to super chat, so I thought I would hit it off at the pass and stop that.
Boom, son.
Guys, is anyone in the panel getting Fast and the Furious from Arcade1up? Assuming this cab is going to come out, I don't know what would give that impression.
I'm going to pass.
Wait, did you ask if we're gonna buy it, or did you say from Arcade1up as if like someone's gonna give it to them?
No. Are we going to either buy it or are we going to have it in our collection? Doesn't matter which way you get it.
How do we even know it's coming out?
I don't know. I don't know
thought it
where
was the
everybody's getting this
Cowabunga
idea
cab.
that.
I mean, what are we talking about? Fast and the Furious? It's crazy.
So, anyways, Fast and Furious is 1000% the announcement on the 20th. So, Fast and the Furious is going to be released on the 20th. It's going to be coming out next week. Anybody here interested? Is this a cab you're thinking about buying?
I'm going to be blazing up in anticipation.
Blazing it up on the 20th
for this purchase.
We don't know the price. We don't know the games list.
I know it's.
We
hard to
don't
say
know
right
if
now.
it's Wi-Fi. Yet someone's committing to it already.
I think that there's a lot of questions that have to be answered. But if you're talking about a 2-game driving cab for $499 with or without Wi-Fi, I'm probably game. But if it's $699, I don't know, guys. That's a
Just 1 second, guys.
He's got to yell at
steep
somebody.
hill to climb.
Crying daughter. 1 second.
Yeah, a $699 price point
Yeah.
for 2 games. I mean, it's kind of getting into the T2 era.
Exactly.
But if there's people that bought that, right? It was like they were really excited about that title.
I think if you're jonesing for a racing cab, I mean, what else are you going to do? You can either stick with your Ridge Racer and go do the buy stuff route and mod it and go
think
crazy,
once
which is
you get
definitely
into that $699 price point, you're better off going and buying a Tesla and use the driving games on that car.
Yes.
You will have a better experience.
Wait,
Plus, you can take it with you as you go places.
Glenn, what do you think about the title? What do you think about the game they went with? I mean, they can pull off a half decent cab, but why Fast and the Furious?
Honestly, they probably had a good. The IP probably was cheap. That was probably an inexpensive property. Maybe they got some other things, and they say, "Hey, we got this other thing. You want this? Yeah, I'll take it for 50 cents." So they may have gotten a really good deal on the license. So it would make sense to do it. And what Mike was saying before, and what Console Kits was saying as well, is it comes down to price. So if something is at a good price point, it makes it more attractive to anyone. I think anything over $600 is a no. Me, regardless. But when it comes down to a good price point, I mean, this is what gets me too. It's like when NFL Blitz had come out, right? It
Of
came
course
out
you
at
are
what?
corny.
Came out at what? $5.99 when Blitz first came out. Is that about right? I don't remember.
That's
That was
And
fun.
then
Yeah.
like 2
Yeah,
weeks
yeah.
later, it went down to like 50 cents.
One,
So
$120. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
So again, I would even buy that myself just because I have a cabinet that I could, use as a modding cabinet. So like anything else, it comes down to what the price points are.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because Goofy.
That's all I thought.
RoboJong first Brooklyn. So yeah, Arcade1up, they love their tie-ins. Like another thing they just did was that Pac-Man X 7-Eleven cab they released.
Oh,
today.
that was great. Pac-Man 7-Eleven.
Pac-Man X 7-Eleven. And the funny thing is, it is a good partnership because I'm sure lots of people remember going into 7-Eleven as a kid and playing an arcade game. But at the same time, I saw it and I was like, are you running out of people to partner with? Like 7-Eleven.
Yes, they
Who's
are.
next?
I can't wait for Dollar Tree. It's going to be wonderful.
Mark Twig Jones is working on that. Get off my lawn.
Oh my god. I think it's more of they were able to convince them to buy a whole bunch of cabs, and that's beautiful.
That's what it was. That's what 100% what it was, because they were like, what are we going to do with all these
slush
unsold
puppy with every
Pac-Mania?
arcade one-up purchase? Is that what they're doing?
Oh yeah. I guarantee you, if you get one of those and you peel it back, it's gonna be like we say reskinned. No, I literally think this is like a skin
Actually,
over skin.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like the
like what they did with all the
countercades.
Frogger countercades.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a fun
That'd be
time,
really
guys.
fun.
fully repurposed, right?
Yeah. Well, that's probably what this is. But anyways, going back to Fast and Furious, I think I'm going to drop the straight dope knowledge on you now, as the kids say.
Word, brother.
So I'd be very surprised if the price point was not $6.99. I think that's where you're going to end up. $6.99 or $5.99. I think that it's going to be 2 games. I think that it might have Wi-Fi, but not for online racing, even though the FCC notification isn't out yet. And I think this possibility of a link cab is a real possibility. So the question is, how many people are going to buy 2 Fast and Furious cabs at $5.99 or $6.99 a pop so you can have a 2-player experience?
Well, that 2-player, isn't that more real now that they have HDMI out and sound? You could just port.
That's
them
only for the
in
pro
together.
cabs. They're not going to do that for anything else.
Not even do a dual cab.
I don't know
just
how
see
the
the
link
same
will
thing.
work exactly. I don't think it'll have anything to do with HDMI.
What do you know, Mike?
I think it's a conversation they have to have when you consider this and Time Crisis. Originally a single player cab that when joined together you could have a 2-player experience. Is it a physical cable? Is it Ethernet? Do you use the home Wi-Fi? I don't know, but I think that it's another thing that's buggy. And to your point, Mike, who the hell is going to commit to buying 2 cabs just to try this feature out? I don't see it. If you're a huge fan of Fast and the Furious, maybe, but they'd have a better shot of like Daytona, Cruising USA, some of the classics. People are fanatical about that, maybe the original Time Crisis, but I just don't see it with this title. There's just no way in hell.
So Dr. Freeman is bringing up the point that Rexer already said that, and I can confirm that he doesn't watch my stuff. So he probably wouldn't know that I already said it before him. My video came out before his. So sorry, Freeman.
Who said what? I don't know.
All about the linkable cab. Apparently,
that
Patrick
sounds
was
like
telling
you're
me about it.
gatekeeping.
No, I talked about
Rex,
that
man.
2 years ago, and Console Kits made fun of me because he's like, dude, they'll just use the Wi-Fi. And I'm like, oh, I don't know these things.
Yeah, but Patrick was telling me about it earlier on the Rexer show last night. He said no one's talking about how these could be linkable. And I
Who's
was like,
Rexer?
yeah, what?
I don't know. You're talking about who is that?
The Rexer show.
The Rexer. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not subscribed.
Anyways, Patrick mentioned, or no, it was actually Stephen Haywood, and I was like, we all did videos on this past week. What is he talking about? No one's talking about it.
Right. I think, yeah. What's interesting, I was thinking about is the alternatives. Think of the Buy Stuff store.
Mhm.
And you can, if you already have Ridge Racer, you can get that at a good price. You can buy that Android device, but you're going to have a limited set of games on that. But I think that's a good bar to look at. Be like, think how much it would cost to build your own racer, or even think of the Atgames Legends Ultimate. And if someone came out with a really cool, I don't think anyone has yet, like a driver thing that can connect to the Atgames, we really need one of those. What can that chipset run? Can it run a game like Fast and the Furious? Because if you look at the games list for buy stuff,
Good point.
the ceiling is a little bit lower than the arcade Fast and the Furious.
Is it PSP? Is that their kind of their threshold?
Yeah, it's like a lot of console games because
Yeah.
it's like $100 Android device.
Which is
So
not
then
bad. I mean, it's got a decent list. Yeah.
You can always buy a PC, but again, once you talk, if you have a PC that you're gonna use for this purpose, that's one thing. But if you're like, I'm gonna build my own racer, calculate how much it would cost to build all that, and if they are in fact doing Fast and the Furious and it's integrated very well, but you're only getting 2 games, but it's like, is that the definitive game? Is 2 games enough? A racer, like, imagine you buy that and that's it. You don't have any other racers. $600 or $700,
Well,
whatever it ends up being, is that
no.
enough for you?
I have to say that when you're buying an arcade, like an Arcade1up that's designed to look like a machine, I always hate when people say it only comes with 1 or 2 games. It should only really come with the 1 game.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're buying
Sure. Yeah.
that game, it should be that game. It's a miniaturized Arcade1up recreation. That should really be it. So anything else is a bonus on top of that.
That's fair.
You know, the T2, people were complaining about it, but it was designed to look like that machine. That's when we get into the fault of like when they did the Legacy Tempest, and I'm going back old, but you have the screen orientation wrong, controls aren't right because now you're making it for other games. When you're buying that, you're really buying it for that look. Otherwise, you should buy an Atgames Legends Ultimate or an iiRcade because that's a multi-cade. It doesn't really matter what it looks like. So I think for the price, it comes down to the price point. If you like that game, anything else is a bonus on top of it. That's just my 2 cents or my 6% off
It may
point.
No, that makes sense. And to answer Console Fanboy's question specifically, the reason I'm not speaking for anybody else, just for me, when I talk about linkable cabs, I only say that because we don't have those FCC filings. We don't have those leaks. Once they come out and say this is Wi-Fi enabled, now I'm more thinking, okay, it's going to be traditional either leaderboards or maybe perhaps Wi-Fi, co-op play. But that's the only reason I bring up linkable cabs, because that's a hardware thing, and there's got to be more cost involved in that. So that's just.
I don't get you guys. Why are you guys talking about webcams? No one's talking about webcams. I want a freaking webcam on my racer so that it takes a picture
We
of
can
me
see each other,
and then it
Yes.
sends it to the other person. It's
Do you
like, Justin,
realize
this is what he looks
they
like.
can't do that. Journey back in the 80s did that, and the first guy who won went like this, and he went like this. And you can't do that. You can't.
and then
have
you're
that.
done.
I want a racer with a freaking keypad, and
That's
I
why
have
we
to
can't
put in
have
my
nice
birth
things.
date. You know? Come on. Take a picture of me and then put it on the leaderboard.
That would be cool to have your little face in the corner.
I think this whole cabinet, Fast and the Furious, when it gets announced, when it comes out, I honestly think this is a proof of concept for Arcade1up. I don't think it's anything more than that. The
You know
game
what I
itself,
think?
I don't think anyone else is screaming for Fast and the Furious arcade.
No.
I agree.
But the
Like they are for the
cruisin'-
movies.
Well, the
Part 30.
cruisin' license is like stupid expensive, and Daytona USA is probably stupid expensive.
Well,
So
there's
this
a,
is
there's a
probably like a
problem with the
happy
cruising license as well. It's not just that it's stupid expensive. It's also apparently owned by a company that will never work with Arcade1up.
The
I
real
don't know the
question
licensing
is
side of it.
They're a
but-
cousin of mine.
is
And
Fast and the
Nintendo
Furious a
still owns
AAA
Cruise.
title?
So
What?
I have a question. I have a question for you guys. So you guys are all saying this is the who's the market for Fast and Furious? I mean, it's obviously a franchise that's well recognized. Arcade1up talked about the 30-ish age group, and you guys disputed whether that's the right demographics for them. Well, maybe they're going for the 20-year-olds with this Fast and Furious now. They're maybe trying to get a younger crowd to buy into the arcade concept at home.
Right.
I'm 30. Well, I'll be 30 next week.
I'm 30 years old.
You worked one in. You just need the
Nice.
jet
But, I mean,
black hair.
can't they look for a new customer base that's not you old for?
No, they can.
You know?
It's when you're talking about a downloadable title or a physical disc, that's one thing. When you're talking about a whole damn cabinet, that's where I get a little confused. It's like, you know, I mean, I would think that the people that would buy like a simulated cabinet at 3/4 scale cabinet would be somebody who was a fanatic of the old games from back in the day. And I'm wanting, maybe some of you on the panel are wanting some of the classics. I think they should have started sooner, you know, in the
Daytona.
and then move your way up. Yeah, I mean, the big ones, the obvious ones are the Daytonas. And I hope that the only reason they haven't done that is because of licensing. I hope that in their
Emulation.
wisdom is like,
Emulation.
oh no, nobody wants that. I would hate that.
The problems are emulation.
Well,
Having a
emulation,
commercial emulator to run
licensing,
most of these games.
Those are completely acceptable reasons not to do it. But I hope that they're saying, no, the kids don't want that. The kids want this. Because if that's what they're really doing, I don't see the kids buying this.
Part of it goes to marketing, because if you look at the marketing and product development team, they do trend a little bit young. I mean, you've got people like David and John. John is older. John is around our age, I think, or a little bit older. But at the same time, I think the rest of the business is really, really super young. So you got a lot of different opinions in there that don't necessarily meet with the core fan base of who we are. And I've said this a bunch of times in my videos. I don't think they understand who their main audience is, or maybe they do know who the people buying the cabs are, but they don't want that to be the market for their cabs. They want a younger demographic because there's more ability for growth. They want to get the nostalgics, you know, the people that have only seen Aladdin and The Lion King, and that have that expendable income, eat a load of bananas, you know, go out to gas station
cheap, buddy.
bathrooms on the weekend. So, I mean, these are the people with the money.
Yeah.
I don't see anything wrong with what you're saying, Mike. It's
No, but you agree with this? I know you're going to, except for the stuff I said directly about you, but you're going to agree with me too, that they don't see us as a growth market. So the hard thing is, how do you not alienate your core fan base, like the people that are the hardcores buying the cabinets, while still bringing in new consumers? And I think Arcade1up has always struggled with that stuff, like Chinatown Market, Pac-Man X, 7-Eleven. These ideas, like, they're harmless. They don't impact us, but we look at it and we're like, it's a wasted opportunity. You guys could have done, you know, Mortal Kombat 4. You guys could have done this cab, that cab.
they could still do all those things, and if they're just going to front load all of those quality titles that you guys want, then 3 years from now they're not going to have anything to present to you other than reskinned re-releases.
There are
of the
so
same
many machines available. I find it hard to believe in 3 years if they did that, they've run out of IPs to do.
The
there
problem
are
is that
a ton.
There are tons, sure, but are there enough of those that you're thinking about that would substantiate enough other users outside of the mainstream?
Well, basing it on anything I want from them is probably not the best thing in the world.
Right.
So I would go around me, because if it came to me, no. So that's a bad nostalgia. You went down a bad thing. You just totally lost your entire point. It just went down the toilet. The simple truth is there are look at MAME. There's like 65,000 games in there. Now, obviously, they would never make all of those, but there's plenty of IPs out there. There's still stuff from the 80s, from the early 90s that would fill up multiple years. Now, again, it's a cost with the IPs. I get it. But if you pick the right one, like I know Daytona, it's been on emulation. It's going to be a cost. It's been on the hardware. It's a cost. But something like that is going to sell. I mean, it's going to sell. And people would probably buy. I mean, some people will buy 4 to do that whole setup there. So it really depends on what do they really want. They're right now they're milking the Pac-Man IP and the Mortal Kombat IP. Again, I'm sure people still would buy them, but come on, how many times you can re-release something? They got to do something new, and it's getting stale. I mean, look at the show tonight. I'm not meaning this in a bad way. There isn't a lot of news, not just Arcade1up. There's nothing a lot from Atgames, nothing from iiRcade. There's nothing from New Wave Toys does. New Wave has a new 2.0 on their display, which looks kind of cool, but there's not a lot going on right now. And I think it's a good time to mention that the GRS Build-A-Kit is still available for sale. And you can get some
This
Raspberry
video is now
Pis.
sponsored by
Oh,
Flames
you
Retro
shill!
Show.
You dirty shill! So anyways, Gallagher Guy 88, he's very excited. We're going to see him in Cleveland. $4.99 super chat. I think the issue is the 20-something-year-olds, they may be pining to, don't have the money to buy 5 or 6 cabs. At least I didn't in my 20s. #tables. Nostalgia, 19K Fox, please stop sending private messages, you sons of bitches.
I didn't do that.
Well, maybe we need to introduce back what P-Dubs usually does at this point in the video, right?
Have a
What do
tantrum?
you guys in the chat think about that? Give us some feedback right now. What do you think about Fast and the Furious? We want to hear what you have to say. And now I'm going to give it to Mike to start reading your messages about Fast and the Furious.
You don't watch my show. I don't read these messages.
But
I don't know they're here.
They're asking for you to
Care nothing of the
acknowledge
people.
them.
Okay. All right. So Cornercade's buying 19.
Sweet.
That's the only message.
I'm guessing that there won't
There's a
be
delay.
linkable to 19 cabinets.
No, I think it's going to be 2 cabinets. And linkable cabinets is not a new concept. I brought that up in my video that apparently I never did because no one has ever talked about this except for somebody else. So iiRcade actually had linkable games going all the way back to 1.5 years ago. So this is not a new concept. And I made fun of it then. Who's buying multiple iiRcades to have in their house so you can link it up? But it's something
know.
that's been done.
Linkable technology is block internet access.
Yeah.
It's like if you have a Wi-Fi enabled cabinet, a cabinet that's able to do point to point, peer to peer across the internet, the way you make it linkable is you say it's the intranet cabinet.
Yeah.
It's the Creed Bratton Word document.
Creed's thoughts /
That's right. It's horrible, even for the intranet.
I've read it. It's disturbing, even for the internet.
No, he says intranet, which means even for their office only.
Yeah. So I want to. We never ever got. I'm going to read people's comments about whether or not they're going to buy it, but we never ever got the round table for the panel. We know Glenn's not buying it. Nostalgia's broke. 19K Fox, you're going to pick one up, aren't you?
It depends. I've been stockpiling some Best Buy gift cards, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get one, at least one.
What if it's
for sure.
$8.99?
Well, oh, for God's sakes, no. I think there's a threshold. I think $6.99 I'm okay with, but beyond that, I don't know.
I would be shocked if it goes above $6.99. And $6.99 is the price point for their XL cabs.
I think I'm still interested. I'm still interested at that price.
Okay, Carl.
Yeah.
Fast and the Furious. Is this something you're going to buy?
The Fast and Furious is not a franchise that I'm a big fan of. So on that, I would have to say no. I still need a racer in my arcade. I have no idea which one would make it here, but I don't think it's that one.
I think for you should consider trying to get a Ridge Racer at a cheap price and buying that buy stuff box.
Yeah.
I think that'd be the best
good
fit for
idea.
you. You're a multi-cake kind of guy. That's the way to go.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
I hate the idea.
It's a wonderful idea. It's phenomenal.
19 console kits. Fast and Furious. You
I
getting
don't know
one?
yet. So here's my thoughts. Ridge Racer, I have it, and then I did buy the buy stuff, which I haven't done the mod on that yet. I've been playing those games vanilla, and then I have the mod, and I plan on doing that because. Anyway, so there's that. But I still have questions about the cabinet, right? So, did they improve force feedback? What is that like? Are the pedals better? Right?
Oh no, they're cheaper. They're even more plasticky.
Right.
They're made of paper this time.
Does it have online? If like for example, if Fox is going to get it and I'm going to get it, do we have the ability to play at the same time?
I would be absolutely shocked if it has online co-op play.
Okay. So, I mean, all of that is like with Blitz, I had no plan to get Blitz, but there was like this, well, if you're going to get, it's kind of FOMO, but it's more like, oh, there's this opportunity to play that game with other people that I would love to play with. Yeah. So that became a thing. So it became worthy of a buy. And then the price came down. So
that helped a lot. Yeah.
That helped a lot.
But what'll probably happen is they'll release the cabinet with Wi-Fi, and then they'll tell you it has online play. And then they just won't release the online play for like 9 months.
Well, then in that case, I'm definitely getting it.
That's it.
It's a must-have.
Yeah.
Right.
Just to piss people off in the community. I got
But
it. I know the online's coming.
If it's linkable, I won't buy multiple. Like I'll tell
I
you
don't.
that.
I think it's more of a thing. Like, say I don't think they're even counting on people buying multiple. It's more of a thing. Like, say we're both Arcade1up fans and we live relatively close to each other. I could call you up and be like, "Yo, kids, bring over your cab, and we can link them up.
Get
and
on a
play
plane,
together."
fly
Yeah,
over.
just hop on your bike.
I don't know if anyone would actually do that though, right?
It's going to come with straps.
You don't
can
even
wear it
want
as
to
a
bring
backpack.
your infinity game table over to someone's house because it's too bulky. You have to get the infinity board to make it more convenient. Are you really going to bring your Arcade1up to a friend's house on a Friday?
Yeah, they just got to put those built-in straps, man, like a backpack. You put it on.
And it's a deluxe, right? So you kind of need a dolly to move it around.
Oh, console fanboy has a great super chat.
He said he wasn't
$5
gonna
US. I will get Fast and Furious if it's $99.99, but only if it comes with a $100 rebate, and then I'll sell it for $50. God, I hate Arcade1up. See, but console fanboy, you don't know this, but you're going to release a video on this that you can actually unlock MK4 on the new Fast and the Furious
course.
cabinet. You just have to
Main
turn the
menu,
wheel 7 times
live
this way,
button.
8 times that way, and then hit
Yeah.
the nitrous, and
Brake,
MK4
gas.
comes out.
Hold
That's
on a
it.
second. What if this thing does go down and, like, let's say they put out Fast and
It's going to be
Furious
a blitz.
and no one buys it. Like, no one's interested at all. And then you can get it at Best Buy for like $200. Would you buy 2 then?
Oh, yeah.
And be like, I'll have a party over and people come
Yeah.
over. I got 2 if it's linkable, right?
I don't know. I will
come on.
I will say this about Fast and the Furious. I've never played it because I'm not a fan of the franchise, the movie franchise that's based on. Console Kids, I've told the story, Bad Date, yada yada yada. So
The girl
it's
crushed
just
his heart over that movie.
no, the girl didn't
Why
crush
saying it
my
was a
heart.
girl,
I did
kids?
not like her.
Why you
or
doing
her
that? How do you know you
excitement
didn't
for the movie.
associate with
She
someone
didn't
else?
call you back, right?
That's not what happened. Believe me.
I don't have because I got family.
So, anyways, I've never played it because I'm not interested in the IP. Like, people say this about pinball tables all the time. Like, I've talked to Cool Toy about it. He's a big pinball guy now. He's another pinball channel.
You're always
So-
name dropping.
Just like you.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just dropping names. So,
Yeah.
Cool Toy, I asked him about it. I was like, you have these options to get all these pinball tables. Why have you not looked at Godzilla? And he said, love the table. I just have no interest in the IP. Like, I'm not a Godzilla fan. So I think that plays into arcade games too. You're not just going to go out and drop, $6.99 US on a game because it's a racing game. Like, I mean, maybe if you collect these and you need to have them all, but like mainly for the people that are going to buy 5 of these, you're going to be selective and get the stuff that really brings you that nostalgia and that FOMO. And for me, Fast and Furious doesn't do it, but apparently it's a really good game. It's a cruising clone. It plays pretty well. There's lots of people in the community who like it. Retro Ralph listed as number 5 in his top 5 arcade races of all time. She Lion Gaming actually has a physical, real Fast and Furious cab, so people do like it. So I'm not going to knock it for being a bad game. Just saying, me personally, I don't have any nostalgia for it at all. I think it's an absolutely perplexing title for them to release when there's so many other must-have titles right there in your face that I can't understand why they haven't done first. I understand that it's probably licensing, probably emulation issues, but I mean, I don't understand how you have a home arcade company and you're releasing racing cabinets and you're just like, Daytona, nah. Rush, nah. Cruising, nah. Fast and the Furious, you goddamn right.
I think I agree with everything you said. That was fantastic. That was a great thing. But I think it's more like this. They got a whole bunch of IPs that they're like, we need this now. We need this now. And then there's a boardroom and they're like, you're working on Fast and the Furious. How's it going? They're like, it's done. So I talked to Raw Thrills. They're in. We got the gaming. They're doing the Android port for it. Like, we talked to Universal. They're in. They're going to support it. We talked to Best Buy. They're willing to buy it. It's in. Okay, cool. Okay, hold that thought. Cruising, how you doing? Yeah, so Nintendo won't answer us. Daytona, well, Sega's got this weird thing going on where they want a lot of money. And it's like, crap, what are we going to put out this year? I guess it's Fast and the Furious because it's ready. That's what I think happens. I think like 2 or 3 years ago, they made their top 50 games that we're going to come out with, and all of their product developers are like, make it happen. And then there's only certain ones that are ready. And like, Blitz took like 2 years to develop, And that one was like, is it ready yet? Is it ready yet? And it was like, no, because we got to take out late hits. So we got to port the game over. But eventually they got it done.
What if the third game on this cabinet was pole position? Does that change it for anybody?
It's not going to be pole position.
Can't be.
It has to be.
But
It must
That's
be
literally the
cool.
only way forward.
Well, I will go back to something Glenn said earlier, and something that we were talking about the other night.
Build a
So
cave?
everybody talks about games being like secondary games on Cab. And Glenn, I think I've done a stream, and you were on it with me for this. Like, honestly, if I don't understand the benefit of having like a very exciting game as a secondary game on a cabinet, I buy an Arcade1up. If I buy an Arcade1up and I'm excited about a game, I want that to be the marquee game. I want the
Absolutely.
art. I want the control panel
Absolutely,
to look like it.
Yeah.
Like I've said with Smash TV, no offense, and I hope it happens for people that want Smash TV. But if Robotron's a secondary game on Smash TV, that does absolutely, positively zero for me about Robotron ever showing up on an Arcade1up. I don't give a shit. If it's a secondary game, I don't get my art. I don't get my cabinet that looks like it. I don't like Smash TV, so I just won't buy it.
Right,
Yeah, but if
and
they
I,
do-
and I agree, and that's the niche that Arcade1up really kind of goes for. You know, they look for the mini recreations. I mean, the Star Wars cabinet's a hit. Now the other two games on it kind of meld with the cabinet. That's great. The Tron cabinet again, the two games that are on it. It's only two games, but you know they're right for the cabinet. But like the Centipede and the Legacy Tempest, where I really would have liked. I honestly would have bought the Tempest, except they screwed up that whole display, and I just couldn't do it.
Oh, that Centipede, same thing.
Exactly. So it's a beautiful, like the artwork looks really nice, but then they fall up short. So Arcade1up is supposed to be when you walk into that room, like behind your guys, you walk in, you want to see that Centipede, that Tempest, and that feeling. And that's why I think sometimes when people say something got 1 or 2 games or 3 or 4 games on it, or 2 games on it, that shouldn't matter. The one game that they're highlighting should be
Perfect.
and then if you have something else on there, that's fine. Like even when they had the Defender, you know, they had the Rampage and Defender, it was a mess. It was just a mess. You gotta play it like this,
Too
and
many
you had your
compromises.
elbow to do it to the button. It was just a mess, you know.
Yeah, but that's because they had that model that plays Mortal Kombat like this. He said it's fine.
But that's where, especially now they're going with their XLs and their bigger cabinets, they have to stick to that formula. That's maybe bring the price down. I kind of get it. They're trying to give a little value with extra games on there, but instead of raising the price up more, make that one title look like it. People will buy them in that case. Otherwise, it makes more sense to buy multicade. It really does.
Yeah, the problem Arcade1up came out with a ton of games on their cabs that don't have custom controls, right? Like your Mortal Kombat, your Street Fighter 12, 14, or the Pac-Man. And those kind of go, wow, they have some value because it has a high amount of games. And then I think that is somewhat hurt them, actually. Because when the games come out with only a few games, we're like, oh, it only has 2 games, right? And you make a really good point. I think it's a really valid point. But going back to if they do Smash TV and Robotron, it could be something like where they're like, oh, we're going to put those cabs and we'll release half of them where, you know,
Do it exactly
Smash
what
TV.
the New Wave Toys is doing. They're doing the Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls and Ghosts. The same
Yeah,
games are on
right.
both, just skinned differently. It's the exact same cabinet, but that's the way to do it.
And if it's skinned half and half, if they do,
Yeah, I
two-
like that idea. I do.
The only problem I have with that is when they do that stuff here in Canada, we don't have the same options as in the US. Like, I did not like the Yoga Flame. I thought the Yoga Flame looked like Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs. So I would have bought the Shinko Hadouken, even though I don't like the graffiti artwork on the side. I don't think that has any place in an arcade or recreating a classic arcade. The rest of the cabinet was beautiful with that, Street Fighter 2 super artwork and the marquee. I was like, yeah, I'm all in. Was not available to buy here in Canada. We could only buy it through Shop Hippo and pay like crazy import fees. So my concern is if they do a half and half cab, I still may not be able to get the half I want at retail here in another country.
Sad
Petition
emoji.
to join the states.
I've been trying for years, but my wife works for her dad's law office, which is a family business. So we ain't going nowhere. I would be in some place in the States right now, eating hot dogs, going to baseball games, living that American life. That was always my dream growing up. But I gave up that dream when I got married. So
And he's very thankful to his
That's what
wife.
marriage is
He's-
all
he's
about,
loves
giving
her.
up
Come
on your
man.
dreams.
You are American. What are you talking about? You are American. Canada's in America.
actually, we used to be.
Fox, that was awesome.
I think we used to be connected to the States at one point. Newfoundland was. I can't remember. We used to be. We were a British colony, and then we were nothing. And then we joined Canada in 1949.
Back the wrong side, bud. It's all right.
I don't know what to say. I didn't do it. It wasn't my choice. I wasn't even born yet.
I thought America was a continent.
North America.
The United States of America. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, everyone says
America.
American. Doesn't that mean you're a part of a
Well,
North
You're
America?
again,
North American.
being American, it's all about us. You know that. So when we
So-
say
well, that's
America, it's
true.
about us.
So
Because
you know,
United States of America is
Yeah.
like a branch underneath America.
are we
and
really
so is
united?
Canada.
Are we
And so
really
if you
united?
say
I think we're more
American, you're
divided
including.
ever than we are
everybody's
united.
more divided now than ever. I don't
I
know
think so.
what it is. The internet is like the
You know what did it?
craziest place.
The Mario movie
That's what
divided us all.
That's the nail in the coffin right there.
Yep.
That's right. There's America,
Oh.
and then there's America. There's a difference.
So when I was a kid, I was a big wrestling fan, and there was the song Hulk Hogan had, "I'm a Real American," and I knew I
God.
wasn't from the United States, so I used to sing it as "I am a real North American."
Oh, I
And
love
that just
life.
brought the show to a halt, bud. That's just like
I'm just
Hold it.
fascinated
was
why
just
these
depressing.
two absolute wiener heads keep writing each other private messages.
and I'm in the middle of them.
Wait, you can see that? Oh, that's weird. I had no idea.
It said private, so I figured.
Yeah, I thought it
You
was
wouldn't
just
see
me seeing it.
Oh. Nostalgia, you know that what is it? The Allstate commercial with the guy from Rescue Me, Chaos, right? That's
No.
nostalgia. That's nostalgia in real life. That's what he does. He sees a situation where he's not getting enough attention. And he's like, I'm just gonna ruin everybody else's life. I'm just gonna.
It seems reasonable to me. I mean, probably.
It has nothing to do with the attention. I just enjoy ruining people's day. So, can we talk
Are
about
you
the
getting
other
Fast
more-
and the Furious nostalgia?
Me? Fuck no. But I will not be getting that. I'm holding out. I'm holding out for Cruisin' or Crazy Taxi.
Crazy
When one of
Taxi's
those two cabinets
possibility.
come out, those are the only two racing cabinets I'm interested in. Cruisin' USA or Crazy Taxi.
Cruisin' once again, it's so closely tied to Nintendo. You look at Cruisin' Blast that just came out on the Nintendo Switch. Why did that not come out on any other console? Do the math.
But
on
wait
it.
a second. Killer Instinct. Killer Instinct
No,
is
it's
a
not.
Nintendo
It hasn't been
property.
a Nintendo property for years.
not.
No, that one is owned by Rare. It's actually a Microsoft property now.
But wait, that was Ultra 64, man.
No,
That
but-
was
but
based on the Nintendo 64
Cruisin' still
technology.
is a Nintendo property. That's why Cruisin' Blast only came to the Nintendo Switch. Never was ported to any other console. So
Also,
Cruisin'. Yeah.
Ultra 64 doesn't exist just as much as
I know that.
blast
I know that.
processing.
It was
Actually, blast processing does exist. So I
Well,
keep forgetting that it does
If,
exist.
if you guys still had your Nintendo powers like I do, Ultra 64 did exist. It was the original name for the Nintendo 64, and that's why we
got
got on the arcade
girlfriends,
game.
Mike.
What?
We got girlfriends.
You had girlfriends at the time.
Yeah,
Not me.
Those Nintendo powers turned into Penthouse, Playboy,
So you
and
didn't
Hustler.
really have girlfriends. You
Yeah.
had different magazines.
They were my girlfriends. I asked them out. They didn't say
Yet
no.
again, just Glenn with the
God,
illogical.
that really explains a lot.
nothing makes sense.
It makes sense up here.
Is somebody?
America! Fuck yeah!
That sounded pretty good too, actually.
Oh. So
So where
I
were
don't
we?
know. We were going to ask the chat if they were getting Fast and the Furious, and I think Cornercade is buying all of them because there's going to be limited quantities. You have 15 minutes to get them all, or you will have to kill your neighbor to get one. Get them now,
It's
tomorrow.
the nature of the business.
And then you'll find them at Walmart for
So
$13.99.
can we guess what Arcade1up's going to do on 420? It's going to be like, they're available now. They're linkable. Buy all 4 now. Woo!
Now,
Buy
or your
6 of them.
We'll give you
now, or your
25%
kids
off.
will die.
You better hurry up because we only made them in multiples of 3. So, like, if everyone buys 4, you're totally not going to get all. I don't know.
So you know how they've been doing exclusive at Best Buy? Fast and Furious is going to be exclusive at Costco, but you got to buy them in a club pack.
Ooh. Do they come with that nice, like, caramelized popcorn? That's delicious.
Oh, I could talk about this all day. So Infinity Game Board, we did a. They had a 7-minute video that we managed to do a 2-hour stream on last night.
That's because we're professionals.
That's right. Nostalgia, you were a big fan of the Infinity Game Table. I remember fondly back to the years of hearing you talk about the Infinity Game Table and what a top tier product it was. And you never once compared it to any other crappy, boards that you could buy on the internet for much less money. Why don't you tell us your thoughts on the new Infinity Game Board?
Oh, I think it's wonderful.
Do you think it's really smart?
I think it is so smart. There is nothing like charging somebody $500 for a $100 tablet. It's just like, it's awesome.
Damn right.
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna call you out on this. Show me right now $100 tablet
That can play
get.
Monopoly.
You're taking
That's an
you're taking the wrong
18-inch
bet.
screen.
Okay.
$100, 18-inch screen.
You're taking the wrong bet, console kids.
18-inch screen.
You don't think I can do this?
Try and
He's taking the wrong bet.
even go to China.
Okay.
I'm only
Okay.
calling you out
China.
on. I don't
China!
believe that you
China!
can find
Yeah.
a modern. Oh, I'm not going to even add modern to it. I don't think you can buy a brand new 18-inch Android device for $100.
Industrial large Android tablet, 21.5 inches, ranging in price from $110 up to $175 if you want to go up to a 27-inch tablet.
No
Why you
one buy
suck
the
on
Infinity
these-
Game Board.
Nostalgia! Fuck yeah!
I'm just saying, I'm gonna win this one.
Wait.
These
Share it again.
You want me to?
That was 19K Fox's screen, not Nostalgia's.
Okay.
And when you're talking volume 2, that's it. It's game over, bro.
Oh yeah, we get that. It's 15 cents a unit.
Actually, when the Infinity Game Table first came out, Nostalgia was really offended by the product. Really offended. Yes, you were.
Why
You
was I
kept bringing up,
offended?
you kept showing that this is versions of other products that had previously existed that was
Oh, that's
being.
right.
I vaguely remember that, but it's possible. It's a reskin tablet, man. That's what it is. And like, I get it. It's a convenient way to play board games if
So,
you're lazy
who
and
is
don't want to
sharing
go to the
this?
App Store and download them yourself.
I am.
Like,
It says 19K Fox, but who is sharing this? Who's
I am.
sharing? Is this you, Fox?
Yes.
yeah, I think that is Fox. So that's not even the one I'm looking at. The one I'm looking at is cheaper and larger.
Well, then can you share it then?
Yeah, but does it have legs?
No,
This
but
one
it
doesn't
is
have
this.
legs. The 18-inch one does.
That's
No,
of
this
course
one
$300
has a
more.
kickstand.
Those little plastic
This one has a
legs.
kickstand.
Okay, that's good enough.
It's got like a really stupid kickstand, but it has one. Here, let me
Okay,
share my
well then share it.
Don't tell me what to do, Mike. This is my show. Hold on. I'll share it. Just give me 1 second. I just got to close all the other windows. That's
All the
right.
porn he
So
had up.
Zero Redux is talking about I made the best point of you can cast it to a TV. That's fair, but to be there's some exclusive Arcade1up channels out there. I'm sorry, exclusive Arcade1up Infinity Game tablet channels. I don't know if you've seen them. All they
Very
do
specific.
is talk about this.
Yes.
And if you go watch them and say you should just buy a tablet, that's akin to coming into one of our streams and just say buy a pie. So
It's not the same at all. It's
No, it
literally
is.
a tablet.
Horrible.
no, it's
No,
like
it's
you don't
literally
need the Infinity
sacrilege.
Game Table. Just buy a pie.
I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm just saying it's dumb. There's a difference. If you want to buy it, buy it. I just don't like these are not it doesn't make sense to me. Like, you're looking at this anywhere from 1 to 99 pieces. You're getting a 21.5-inch Android 6.0 tablet that's going to have a built-in or no, this one doesn't have a rear camera, but it's got 16 gigs of hard drive space. Tons for these types of applications.
You made your
Okay.
point, but that's
Tons.
I accept your apology.
$175. So I win. That's
Tons.
$175.
Okay, but I'm
we
saying
said
what's-
90. We
right.
said $100.
Okay, but if you're buying it,
One-
if you look at it, if you're going with 2,000 pieces, it's $110.
So
No,
Nostalgia.
One.
Yeah.
Buy one for $100.
You
Man.
mentioned that this one has no rear camera. How much would one? How
It's
much
got
would
front
one
camera.
cost? How
It's got
much
front
would one
camera.
cost for with a rear admiral?
I don't know. This one's 140. 142.
Yeah, but is the monitor crisp?
It's-
Nostalgia. Why are we looking at Alibaba here? We don't want to see the Atgames racer.
Again.
No, I just think for what it is, for $500, it's a little much. Like, if it was $399, maybe I could be like, all right.
We
But
all
like, for
agree the price point
$500,
is
you're
too
talking
high.
about it's a tablet, man.
Hey.
That's all it is, and it's not particularly advanced.
And it was 175, but it had extra inches,
Hey,
and inches count.
nostalgia. So I got this idea for a business. So we're gonna sell this tablet that's like 18 inches. People are gonna play Monopoly on it. We're gonna sell
Yeah.
it for $500, but we can totally get some company in China to build it for like, I don't know, $100.
Can I get on that deal? I got a company that can do it.
I want
I-
to see
I
a
would
Glenny,
imagine.
tablet, right?
The Glenny Dad.
we got to come up with a name for it right now.
And well, I'll give you the rear admiral too, Mike.
What's
I'll have the
another
rear
word
admiral
for
on it.
infinity? The endless.
Gleninity.
The endless game table.
Let's call it the endless one up table.
Ooh, could be an issue there, Mike.
Let's see. The multiverse table.
I'm just saying, like, I haven't even really tried to look, and I'm finding them left, right, and center. Like, it's too much for what it is.
I got a $1 million idea. We
Let's hear
do
it,
our own Infinity game board, but we go against the grain and we sell it with a wooden riser.
Ooh.
How about
That's
this?
smart.
We sell the
good
tablet
idea.
as is,
Great
but
idea.
you can sideload the games.
It's like a boot camp workout.
It has coin ops.
And it has flipper buttons.
It's
And
it's the
Steam built in, so you can do
Atgames tablet.
really laggy Pinball FX.
This is so much fun.
We'll call it the Atgames Endless Table.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be called the GET.
The GET
Yeah, Atgames
endless table. Yeah.
Mm.
You got to get it.
It's good.
The
That's a good one.
Glenfinity table. I'm waiting. Come on, Glenn.
I'm telling you, we'll sell it with a thunderstick chair.
Wait, no. Build a table.
The build a table.
Build a table.
We actually have that. It's actually in my things. Just hasn't been released yet. It's that white one behind me, so that's already there.
Glenn, do you think that you could add even more buttons and controllers to it?
Yes.
Make the screen smaller and add more buttons.
We're going to
more
put a
drive-
1.5 inch display, and I'm going to fit a spot for a GRS 1977 movie film with spaceship controllers all
And
around.
what you need is you need laser lights coming out of it that shine right in people's eyes. And it's going to rotate and spin.
Just like in which James Bond was that when they were playing? And he's like, they're getting zapped. What movie is that from? Someone's got to know in the
I
chat.
don't know, man. I've never watched Star Trek.
No,
Zapper.
I can't wait to get that and then plug it into HDMI and be like, where the hell is the audio?
Yeah. So how the hell does that thing
We can
have
charge you
virtual
extra for the video.
reality? How does that have virtual reality? That thing you got going on behind you.
I can tell you right now, someone may borrow the technology, so it's going to have to wait. It's going to have to wait just a little bit.
You can trust us and the people that watch this. There's no company
Oh,
that would just
absolutely.
steal
No one's
your
here.
idea. What are you talking
Absolutely.
about?
Well, I thought it was just us here anyway. It's just us six.
We haven't gone live yet.
Yeah, we're just
Yeah, that's
chatting.
right.
All
That's
you
what
got
I thought.
to say afterward is patent pending, and it's fine.
Just do a verbal trademark. It's fine.
Hey,
Oh,
Justin, I found another tablet for a single unit. You want one? Not 1,000, 134.
Very good. We're going to call the virtual reality the Glennyverse, like like metaverse. The
Mm.
Glennyverse.
Oh, I hear you. It's good. I like
It rolls. It rolls.
It's gonna be good.
Right off the labia.
Not only is this $134, but it has a 2-megapixel rear camera.
Wow.
What's its-
Everything that you
what's
could
its inch?
ever need.
What about the
Is
inches?
it-
How many
What about
inches?
the inches?
Can it
This is
run
18 and a half
Crazy
inches.
Taxi?
Ooh.
Nice.
And it's a
Dirt
BOE monitor.
Diggler. The Dirt
So-
Diggler edition. That's what you got to call it.
So we talked about this last night, and it's kind of interesting because as much as we shit on, we got a $2 super chat here from Console Fanboy. I want to read first, which I could read if the private chat still wasn't going. Super chat $2 US. Can I use the Infinity Game board as a squatty potty?
Too
So-
tall. I've tried.
What's crazy though is this is not a product like that really appeals to any of us. I have an Infinity Game table. I'm going to be honest with you, it's okay, but
You can just
after
play
a
the games on
while,
your
like
tablet.
the interest in it wore off real super quick. Like
Yeah.
at first, we played it for a week, and my kid loved it. She's playing like the memory game, but after like 2 or 3 weeks, we were like, I shouldn't have bought this. This was a regrettable purchase just for us and the amount of use that we put into it. And nostalgia, like you said,
It's too big, but not
yeah,
have a
exactly.
tablet form.
So I
now
guess
you
they were
can-
listening to feedback from some people saying it's too big, it's not portable. But what we talked about last night, which is crazy, and P-Dubs backed it up with the port data, and I went off what John D once told me is one of the products they can't ever put on sale, and you'll notice this on the website, is the Infinity Game Table because it just sells. No matter how much we shit on it or talk about the fact that it's too expensive, it's a stupid concept, blah, 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 it's making them money. So, I mean, I don't know what to say.
because it
here.
only cost him $100 to
That's
make
the deepest
disappointed.
margin on this thing.
It's not that it sells; it just has a huge margin.
Yeah.
Holy shit. People are buying this. It's a gold mine.
Well,
we only have to
that's-
give like 30% to Hasbro as well.
That's why I think they're calling it the Infinity Game Table. It's not that it's infinite possibilities or the infinite number of games that could come from it. It's just Scott Backrack is explaining it. He's like, we can make an infinite amount of money from this. Not only are they buying this
That's why
thing
it's
with
called
the
the
massive
Infinity Game
markup,
Table.
That's
then we
right.
can massively mark up all the games and apps we put on it too.
Be like, so those companies that make the board games, they know nothing about technology, so we could screw them like crazy.
It's just, yeah, I don't know. Blows my mind. It's such a good investment. You know what you should do? You should buy one, keep it sealed in the box, wait 30 years. It'll be worth like, got to be worth like a $550.
I will say on
It's
the
got to be.
have you ever seen one come up on the resale market through like your offers up and your Facebook marketplaces where you're to?
Yeah, they pay you to take it from them.
Oh, they really struggle with selling it, and they pay so much you feel bad too. I remember before I bought the 24-inch went on clearance here in Canada. That's when I eventually picked one up. Still, it was still overpriced, but I remember a girl had a 24-inch up, and she was trying to sell it for like $650, and I was like, I'll give you $3 for a used Infinity Game Table, and she was like, well, I paid like $900 for it. I'm like, I'm sorry, but she couldn't sell it. So your ROI turnaround on trying to sell it used is not going to be good, even though it sells well on the first-hand market. Second-hand, you're out of luck. Fox, what is into you tonight?
I think Fox is
About half this bottle.
yeah, he's
Half that bottle. Nostalgia, you're a bad influence, man.
I
You're corrupting people.
see, the problem here. No, I'm not even going to get into this. Okay,
Yeah, it was a private chat that you shared. How dare you?
this was an A
Private
and B
chat.
conversation, Mike.
Michael.
Mike, this was an A and B conversation. You should see your way out of this.
Ooh,
What?
Yeah, I got a 10-year-old in the house. I got those sly comebacks. I got
Word.
this.
Do you know nostalgia only talks to one human being in the world? It is that 10-year-old. No one else will actually communicate with them.
It explains a lot. No.
sad but true.
Yeah. But yes, it's a $10 tablet. It's a $10
Nostalgia
tablet.
really, really likes the Infinity Game Table.
It's just not my jam, man.
Huge fan.
Whatever. You if you like it, cool. Good for you. I hope you enjoy it. I hope it's not a paperweight in 16 months.
man.
I used to laugh.
Nostalgia
So
feels the same way. as Glenn does for Mario.
But the difference is I'm right, Glenn's wrong. So
Ooh,
there's
that's a
like
wicked.
Wow,
things.
that's pretty harsh, man.
no, it's just straight up truth. That's it.
I think
It's
it
a
actually made
me.
more.
He's been saying it's a me, it's a Mario. I didn't get that in there.
I think it made more sense when it was 32 inches. When they shrunk it down, it just lost all meaning for me.
Most
Yeah.
women get turned off by that.
Yeah, when it shrinks down, they're not interested.
And it's not cold, so what's the excuse?
Well, the one thing from that one-up show, I think people were pretty. That one update show yesterday was what's her name? Emily. Emily was back to explain she's the lead designer on the Infinity game board.
The French girl.
Oh, the French girl. Like everybody fixated on that. Like even though
She
we're
has
a
no
bunch,
name.
we're a bunch of like 40-year-old men. We're here to watch this stuff about arcades and stuff. You could tell that. I don't think a lot of us are getting any because the minute she came on and she was like, bonjour, everybody was like, oh my God, best thing I've ever seen in my life.
She don't speak American.
So I gotta tell a French story real quick. So I worked for this company that 50% of the people there were French. It was an interesting company. It was literally a joint venture. So you had these Swiss French people, and then you had these Americans, and job was to integrate technology. And there was this girl. I was in my mid-20s. She was in her mid-20s. She came to America, and she was so excited, you know. And so I was working with her, and I had to show her around. And it
Did
was
she
like,
start working at McDowell's when she first got here?
no. But anyway,
When she came to America?
so she's like, we're spending all week, whatever, and I'm showing. It was kind of like I don't even know. We're software development, and it was almost like a 2-week internship, if you will. But she was like from the parent company, and I think her name was Emily, and so she had this strong French accent, and their culture is just very different, right? So throughout the week, we were kind of talking about how, okay, the culture is different, and you do things this way, whatever. And when we left, she was saying goodbye to everyone, and she was shaking everyone's hand. But when she came up to me, she came and kissed me on the cheek, right? Evidently, I had worked with her long enough that I, earned the respect for her culture to do the kiss on the cheek, except I'm used to that. I'm familiar with that. But there's French and there's Swiss. And they're like, that's like Illinois and Iowa, by the way. They're like right next to each other, right? But one culture is they kiss on the cheek and they kiss on the other cheek, and that's it. So it's 2. But in Swiss, it's 3. They go back. And I got it wrong. And I thought it was 2. So the third one landed on the lips. And it was really awkward.
Whoa.
Well,
Were you married at this time?
I don't know.
I was married. I told my
You
wife, I'm
cheated
like,
on your wife?
so this
That's
really
horrible.
weird thing happened. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she goes, no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
You know what happened? This was this is like in The Office where Michael Scott tried to kiss Pan outside the volley. What are you doing?
No, I'm rejecting you.
I'm rejecting you.
Yes. Yeah, I bet her story is much different.
She's filing a sexual harassment claim
So I
right
went to
now.
America.
French.
This
That's
guy
great.
was hitting on me.
He's at the
This
embassy right now.
weirdo.
Oh.
Carol, you got anything else, or do you think it's time we call it a night?
I think we call it a night.
All right, man, it's up to you.
Can we talk about the before we go, the Arcade1up Infinity game table thingy?
And until next time, we'll see you on the web.
On the web.
On the web.
Which web? The internets.
The
I gotta make sure I got the right brand.
Was really out of focus
What's going on
tonight.
back here? Is this thing,
Why are
is
we
this
back?
thing
What's
still
going
on?
on?